Hello, let me ask you something. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, I wish I could just kind of move up a couple steps in my job and my career, maybe even a new one, something that brings in a little more money, that kind of thing? That's the case. You've come to the right place today. Hi, my name is Jim Biggins. I'm with the Alpha Media Group of radio stations, including my friends down the hall, Charlie Rude and Art Lewis at WSGW AM and FM, Dave and Chuck the Freak and Mac over at 106.3 The Core, Steve Harvey and Yvonne over on KISS 107.1, and my co-workers as well, Jody Kay, Joby Phillips, and Josh Sharrow. My name is Jim Biggins with 94.5 The Moose. I have with me today Ryan Donnelly. He's an admissions representative at Mid-Michigan College, so he's going to be our resident expert today for all the hardest questions. And then Kathy Greer is a student who's taken advantage of the Michigan Reconnect program. And I don't know a lot about this, Kathy, but it sounds like a great program, and we're going to be very interested to hear, how it works from your perspective. But Ryan, can we start with you? What is the Michigan Reconnect program?
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for having us here today, Jim. We really appreciate it. And this is an absolutely great program. I can't preach that enough. So again, thanks for having us so we can spread the good word about this program here. But what Michigan Reconnect is, it's a scholarship program that works with all the community colleges here in the state of Michigan. And the whole goal of it is to get anybody who didn't go to college right out of high school, maybe started college and didn't complete, or like you said, in some instances, hey, I already have a job, a career, I just want to get a certificate to, move up, or, XYZ situation. It allows them to come back to a local community college tuition free. So again, let me repeat that. That will help you, for an associate's degree, training certificate, even just some fun elective classes. You can use Michigan Reconnect at your local community college to go tuition free. And then even out of district students too get a heck of a deal that I'm sure we'll get into here soon, and getting some of their classes covered.
Okay, now for somebody to be eligible for the Michigan Reconnect program, what do they have to bring to you?
Yeah, so there's kind of four main stipulations to be eligible for Michigan Reconnect. One is be 21 years or older, and let me quickly expand on this one a little bit. Typically, the program was for those 25 years or older, but the state of Michigan expanded that to 21 to 24 as well. That is going to go away after this November. So if you're out there listening and you're in the ages of 21 to 24, you can utilize Michigan Reconnect as long as you sign up for it before November. But yeah, 21 and up as of now can utilize this. That's the main stipulation there. The second one is lived in Michigan at least 1 year, making you a Michigan resident. The third one would be complete a high school diploma or a GED. Doesn't have to be just a high school diploma. GED works as well. And have not yet obtained an associate's degree or bachelor's degree.
Okay, well, that's awesome. And every time you say the word free, I want you to pause for a second. Because as someone who, and I'm sure you have too, Ryan, have written a couple of tuition checks in our lifetime. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
The whole concept of free and college, that's an opportunity you need to take a very, very close look at. Kathy, I want to ask you, what brought you to Michigan Reconnect? How did you find out about it, and what were you hoping to achieve?
Yeah, I wanted to thank you as well for having me here today, because this is a really important topic for me. I am 59 this year, so I'll be 60 in August. And last September, I was just sitting up here in Gladwin. We had moved here a couple of years ago, and I thought, I need something to do. And then I said, I'm going to go back to college. And it was as easy as getting online to Mid-Michigan, and I just did some research there, and I saw the Reconnect program, and I, did what I needed to do, and I was enrolled. It was very easy and very quick. And I did not know about that Reconnect program when I started at Mid. So it was exciting to have that opportunity to use that money to go back to school. I've been out of school for 40 years, so it was, I sent a couple kids through school, two of my daughters, and it was always about money. We were raising kids and, doing all that. And after now my kids are grown and gone, I thought, well, now it's time for me. And this was available, which was just perfect.
Did you have an area of study that you were just, man, I've always wanted to pursue this or that? Or was it a case of, I want to learn something, and I'm going to see what's available at Mid-Michigan and go from there?
No, actually, I've always wanted to be in the medical field, and I probably should have went to nursing school many, many years ago. I didn't have it in me to start a pre-nursing program. It seemed too unattainable. But now that I've been in school for almost a year, it doesn't seem so unattainable. But I am studying medical administration. I'd like to work the administrative side in a medical facility, or a big clinic or something like that.
Sure,
So,
yeah. Ryan,
and
can
I'm
I ask you,
sorry.
are there any limits in terms of the programs at Mid-Michigan that this applies to, or is it basically everything across the board, or how does that work?
Yeah, great question, Jim. So yeah, it covers the in-district tuition. So anything that's for college credit classes, that's what it covers. So it's not like program specific. You could use it for business. You could use it for skilled trades. You could use it for, the medical health science field, like Kathy's explaining. There's no limits as long as it's for college credit. You can use it here at Mid. And there's even a short-term training program. That one works a little differently, so I won't speak on that one as much. But there's even a short-term training Michigan Reconnect program too that can help for the non-college credit side of things too.
Kathy, how is your vision of what the next 10 years of your life look like changed since you got into this program?
Well, clearly I will be starting a new career at age 61 when I get done with my 2-year degree. So that's a little daunting. But I just knew I needed a change. I'd been doing the same job since I was 17 in high school, and I was getting tired of it, and it was drying up a little bit. Since COVID, I do transcription for court reporters,
Okay.
and they're doing so much Zoom and audio and video and all that stuff that it's kind of pushing our work a little bit to the side as far as hard transcripts. So I knew I had to do something different because I couldn't. I'm not ready to retire, obviously. And so I think it'll be exciting. I think it'll be something to look forward to. I hope that employers aren't daunted by my age. I guess would be the only thing I would probably be concerned about.
Have you noticed that since the Michigan Reconnect program and being back in school, do you feel like your confidence has grown or your ambition has grown a little bit or changed in any way?
Oh, very much so. Because when I first applied for college and got in, I was just looking at like an associate's degree, but I'm kind of leaning now towards continuing and getting my bachelor's in medical administration just because I enjoy it. I enjoy the curriculum part of it. I will say, as a 59-year-old woman, the technology side for me, because all my classes are online, was a little bit difficult at first. I felt a little bit like the deer in the headlights. I mean, my poor daughter, I can't do this. I was a mess, but now I've kind of settled in, and I don't, I guess, balk at the challenges so much. I say, okay, wait, you know how to do this, and I think that's helped a lot. It's helped me settle in more, and I feel much more comfortable. And definitely my confidence is higher, and I'm looking forward to a new career, which is something I never thought of that I would be thinking about at my age.
That's awesome. That is just so great. I mean, there's always time to restart or reconnect.
Absolutely.
Ryan, what are some of the most common questions you get from somebody who's either just learning about or just kind of heard a little from somebody here or there, but they want to know more about Michigan Reconnect? So what are they asking you?
Yeah, I'll be completely transparent with you. The biggest question I get, as a lot of times I'm filling out the application with students here at Mid, is what's the catch to this? I get that all the time because, like Kathy said, it's a pretty easy process. The only extra thing you have to do to obtain Reconnect is fill out an application to Michigan Reconnect that pairs with FAFSA. And that application is super easy. So a lot of times as we're filling that out, students will ask, what's the catch to this? The catch is the Michigan economy needs skilled workers, right? So again, that could be anybody who's just 21, or in Kathy's case, wants to start a new career. That applies to everybody. And then another thing that I'm glad Kathy brought up is I usually, not really a question, but a concern, is the technology part of it. A lot of people say, hey, I haven't been to school either at all, or, it's been 20 so years. I'm nervous about this, the setup of online classes or turning assignments online. And that's where I say Mid is definitely goes above and beyond. We make sure everybody is extremely comfortable. Our library staff is great at helping out with any technology questions. Our help desk is great at running into troubleshooting any problems students might run into to make sure it's smooth. But I'm really glad Kathy brought that up, because the message I always send out to everybody is you can absolutely do it. It's a big scary thing at first, but reach out to, like Kathy said, family members. Again, the staff here at Mid is always going to do what's best for you and help you feel comfortable being set up. So my biggest thing that I always tell students is there really is no catch to this. This might be like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And it's pretty incredible seeing people's faces light up when they figure out it was that easy and it really is free. So it's been an honor to help people fill out that Michigan Reconnect application and start changing lives and chasing dreams.
Kathy, when you first found out there was this Michigan Reconnect program, did you start thinking to yourself, "Oh my gosh, mountains of paperwork! I'll never get through this. Do I even bother?" Or were you pleasantly surprised at was it as simple as what Ryan's saying?
It was very simple. It was so simple that it's hard to even describe, because after I got off my computer, because I was sitting at home when I applied and did all the work, it didn't even take me a half an hour. And then I was sitting there looking at my computer and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just applied for college. And I was like, now what? What if I get in? But it was very simple and very exciting to be able to do that and get it all done, and then get the the little answer on the computer that says congratulations. Mm-hmm. And but no, it was very, very simple. And when I say simple, and when Ryan was talking about the technology side of it, when I first started last September, one of my first nuclear meltdowns was trying to figure out how to move files into a folder. That's embarrassing when you're at my age. But I realized I hadn't done anything like that. All the work that I've done has been like in word processing, not so much in, that kind of structure. And so it threw me for a loop at first, but now, I mean, just getting on this call, I had to go through my email and get on Zoom and do all that stuff. A year ago, I would have been very nervous about trying to make sure everything was, set up correctly.
And once you master a few of those little things, it's almost like the barriers one by one just kind of fall down in front of you, and
yes,
the road ahead looks really clear. Ryan, are you finding that it's like folks in Kathy's case who've done the same thing for many years, or people who have never really started in a preferred career? They've just kind of bounced around a little bit and they're finally, trying to focus on a path. What kind of situations are you encountering from people who come in for the Michigan Reconnect program?
Yeah. So it kind of varies. I would say it's pretty close to 50-50. I have like one half of people in Kathy's situation where it's like, hey, I've always wanted to do this, and for XYZ reason, I wasn't able to. And I'm glad something you said, Jim, that really stood out to me was removing those barriers, watching them all fall down, right? And that's what I really love about Michigan Reconnect. Community College in Michigan already has been working, Mid especially, we've been working so hard to take down any kind of obstacles and barriers there are from the traditional college experience. But Reconnect just kind of took that to this next level. So we see a lot of people that's like, hey, I've always wanted to go into this, or I recently started dreaming about this career. Can I start here? Can I get what I need to get this career here? And then Michigan Reconnect's kind of the catalyst to get that going. But then I've also seen a lot of employers like encourage their employees. We've had a couple different information sessions with local businesses where, hey, Mid has a certificate. We can give you a promotion and we would support you going to classes and, be a little flexible with you. So not even just Mid, being a great place and helping out students. The employers, especially, in Isabella and Clare County, we've had a couple information sessions there, and they've been great about helping their staff to achieve those dreams and get promoted in-house. It's a great way to retain employees for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's any business owner will tell you employee retention, number one, is important. Number two, it can be expensive. And if you're able to offer people an opportunity to add some new skills, some new education, and neither the business nor the student has to write a check, man, that's
win-win.
That's absolutely unbelievable. That is awesome. Now, for somebody, for example, Ryan, we're running along the bottom of the screen. You can see the website for Mid Michigan College for the Reconnect program. If you cut the Reconnect off at edu, can you just get into the regular website and start looking at what programs are available? Because I think a lot of people probably, if you're not exposed to a lot of careers, most of us aren't. We're exposed to what our parents do, our family, our neighbors. There's so many options out there that maybe many of us haven't thought about. But glancing to see what's available might spark some ideas. What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually just kind of shook up our website. We have a brand new website. So shout out to our marketing team for that. They have a great solution to everything you were just talking about there. So if you just go to midmich.edu, there's on the top bar there, you're going to see programs and pathways. If you hover over that and click the first option, you see there's going to be a web page that lays out all of the programs, but on the side, there's going to be a bar that says, hey, I would like to go to school for, 1 to 2 semesters, 1 year, up to 2 years. The next little section says I want an associate's degree, a ready to work option like a training certificate, any short-term trainings. And then it'll say what's your desired kind of outcome. Like if do you want to transfer to a 4-year school for a bachelor's or do you want to start your career right away? And that will help you narrow down all those options. So I could say, hey, I'm interested in trades. I want to be done within 1 year and I want to get right to work. And it'll show you all of our different trade certificate options. And then on the flip side of that, hey, maybe I want to transfer on and continue to get this bachelor's degree. I can click I intend to transfer, and all of those transfer pathways will pop up for you in that area you said you were interested in. So that's really helpful in just knowing what's out there, and that's half the battle is knowing what's out there. But that's a really good tool to use to kind of sort through all the information we have out there on the website.
Well, and not having that tuition payment, you've eliminated the risk. You might take a class or two, and at that point, not what I thought, or exactly what I want, but you're not financially committed in any way that's going to set you back. So that's perfect. Kathy, are you already thinking about that first job when you're done and how you're going to spend that first check, or what?
Well, I've actually already talked to some of the hiring people at local hospitals and some big clinics, and I was just wondering about their hiring process and such. And one of the things that did come up was, would I be interested in, because I said I would end up with an associate's degree at the end of these 2 years, and they said, would you be interested in continuing your education while still working for us, and we would help with your tuition. So that came up just in a phone call that I was having with possible employers. So I thought that was interesting. And I know my sister right now, she lives in Oregon, but she is actually just this month completing her master's degree in nursing, and her company is paying for quite a percentage of her money to go back to school. So there is a lot of opportunity out there, and you're not going to find it if you don't ask or don't look. That is one thing I learned.
That's the long journey always starts with the first step, and the Michigan Reconnect program can be the first step. And sometimes the first step is the hardest for people because they don't know where it is, what direction it's supposed to point. But as simple as visiting the website, or Ryan, can they call somebody in the admissions department like yourself? And
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. Yeah. Any questions, anytime, you can always call me. I have a text line as well that goes to my computer, and you can always email too if you're not a phone person. Like I said, I've sat down and from start to finish filled out all those forms with students that, are like, hey, I have no clue what any of this is. Can you help? You can always come to campus and get help, or reach out over the phone, email, any questions. We got you covered.
Kathy, if anybody were to come to you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to add that I have never not had anyone answer the phone at Mid, whatever department I've called. And if they didn't, I've had my phone calls returned almost immediately or an email. So Mid is very good at being involved with their students and making sure everything is working for them. And, it's a small campus. There's not I'm actually in Harrison, and I'm actually in Harrison today at the Writing Center getting some work done. But my professor happens to be sitting over in the Writing Center. And that's one of the things I enjoy is it's a small community and you get to know your professors pretty intimately. And that is nice to be able to see them, face to face, even though it's online. All my classes are online. I can still meet with her face to face, and I do enjoy that. And Mid is exceptional at taking care of their students.
Ryan, do you find that people start with the Reconnect program and then over time you start seeing them over in the placement office, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that we've all been kind of hitting on all the questions is it's definitely helped students with confidence. So a lot of times our online students, if they need some help or anything like that, just like Kathy was saying, they can still come to campus. What's great is we do have free and walk-in tutoring, so you don't need an appointment. You can come to campus. You can get help with like math, science, reading and writing, communication. So if you're in a speech class and you're nervous about writing a speech, you can come on in and we can help you out. So yeah, you get the initial confidence boost, right, of signing up for college for the first time, getting those barriers knocked out of the way, but then all the resources that mid offers too. We're seeing a lot of students who initially thought like, hey, I might just get a certificate or I might just take 1 or 2 classes to see, how it goes. They're diving in and getting the associate's degree, or even in other cases transferring on to go get their bachelor's degree. So it's been great seeing people. It's life-changing stuff, truly. So it's pretty incredible seeing people change their lives just through a quick 10-minute application, like Kathy was saying.
For anybody who hasn't been in a classroom since high school, it's such a different experience in a college classroom, 1,000% different. So if you're fearing that it's a return to being 18, it's not. It's not. It's a much better experience. Is there anything, Kathy, that is there a favorite part of this whole Reconnect program for you, or?
Well, obviously it's the money. I mean, my husband is semi-retired, so we're kind of already moving. He's moving in that direction already, but it really is the fact that you can go to school and gain this knowledge and end up with a degree and not have to spend any money. If that is an exciting prospect, and it just makes it easier to go. I mean, I think money has always been an issue for most people that want to go to school. If you don't qualify for certain, student aid or financial aid, or, you don't get any scholarships, you have to figure out somewhere to get that money. And I mean, recently, I know my feed on my Facebook has been pasted with all of the thing about the loans, the college loans, and how they paid back and such. And I honestly didn't realize how much interest you paid on college loans.
Oh, yeah.
It is amazing. And I think this is I think it's a great starting point for somebody who is starting from zero. If you at least go and get, like Ryan was saying, a certificate or even your associates, and you do it for free, it's not as stressful, I think, on your budget, on your household, and things like that. And it can just push you, just further forward and into other areas.
Kathy, I think you've covered this very well. Anybody who wants to make a change, I think you've proved to them that, number one, you can. Number two, it's not as difficult as you think. And number three, maybe I should move number 3 to number 1, because that whole free thing, I'm a big fan of free.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Free. So, Ryan, anything additional that we've missed on this? Because this just sounds like an incredible program. I know maybe we should repeat too the age requirements and how that's going to change and stuff too, because there might be some folks who, haven't made a commitment to, am I going to go back yet or not, but maybe should look at that now because the opportunity may not be there down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, again, that 21 to 24-year-old age range, that's going to go away. At least as of now, that's going to go away starting in November. So even if you're unsure, you're not decided, hey, I don't know if I'm going to take fall classes, even if you're thinking about maybe starting in the winter or just unsure in general, still fill out that application, because like we're saying, it's a quick 10 minutes. And if, say, you fill it out for the fall, you get grandfathered in. So it's not like, hey, if I'm a 21-year-old, I'm going to take fall classes, I only get Reconnect for the fall. It'll still cover your associate's degree. You just have to sign up for it by November. So let me make that clear. If you sign up by November, it's going to cover the whole journey still, right? It's just you have to get signed up by November. So I'm really stressing that point. But anyone 25 years or older, that's not going away. There's no rush there, but obviously the sooner the better, right? So you don't want to miss out on any free money. And again, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Even if you're 19 or 20 and you're like, shoot, I just missed the age mark on this. 2 out of 3 students already come to mid for free without Reconnect. So still come chat with us, still come ask questions. We can get through FAFSA, which is always, considered the hard part of this process. We can help you out with that, answer any questions. We have dedicated staff members that'll help you fill it out. So even without Reconnect, you still might be able to get a free college experience. So don't be afraid to reach out and take that first step.
Yeah, if the thought that where you're at isn't going to take you where you want to go, or the bank account isn't going to, the way you live isn't going to be the way that you pictured how you want to live, you have an opportunity. What do you have to lose looking into it? Absolutely nothing. So that is absolutely perfect. Kathy, anything you want to add? Ryan, anything you want to add? I think we've pretty much covered all the bases.
I think we have, covered it all.
Well, Kathy, I wish you the best. I hope you land an incredibly awesome job now that you're going to have to be the primary breadwinner in your house and your husband's around nothing.
Well, he's still working part-time. I told him he had to
Okay.
keep working a little bit. So,
Well, after you get done, maybe it'll be his turn to step in and make a little career pivot too.
yeah, that would be great.
All right. Ryan says, I'm ready for that phone call. So, very good. All right. Well, thank you both so much. This very valuable information. I hope a ton of people take advantage of this because, when you have an opportunity for free education, the answer has to be yes, because it's not always going to be
I
there.
agree.
That's what my experience tells me. So this is an awesome opportunity. And yes, the state of Michigan needs people with a little more education, a little more training to fit existing positions that employers haven't been able to fill. And that just sounds insane. What do you mean you've got jobs and you can't fill them? Yeah, good paying jobs. All right, let's go fill them. So step number one, Michigan Reconnect Program. Start at the website on the bottom of the page. If not, get on the phone and call. Hey, I want to talk to Ryan. I want to talk to Ryan right now.
Well, and also Mid has a technical side too, right? Like you can do heating and cooling, air conditioning, plumbing, things like that. So, and those are probably certificates or just 2-year degrees. So you can make good money doing those, getting involved in those careers. And young people, that would be a great start, to end up being a master plumber by the time they're, 30.
We have shortages in all those areas, big time.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy this week who has it's a family HVAC company. They can't find people, and they've been swamped this summer, and it's good money. So
yeah, and there's always I run into the stigma, I guess I'll call it, of a lot of people are like, oh, I want to go into trades, not college. Well, college is trades, or trades is college.
Yeah.
Mess that up there, but it's the same thing. Like, you have to give yourself credit. Those are college credit courses. Again, kind of like Kathy had said, there's certificate options for them out there. You can get an associate in any of those trades, but you can certainly come into Mid here and be done within 10 months. And have the right to work in those fields and go make some really good money. And I'm sure employers will be knocking at your door wanting to get you because there's definitely a shortage in that area. So that is a great, great field to go into. Again, with any certificate options, why it's a certificate, not an associate's degree, is you get right into the hands-on stuff. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to do the English class, I don't want to do the comm class, I just want to do welding, I just want to do heating and cooling, that's certainly an option. And it is college credit too. You'll get a certificate there at the end, and Michigan Reconnect will pay for that for you.
I mean, you can call it classes or you can call it training. Either way, it's the same thing. It's opportunity.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants opportunity. So Mid-Michigan College is just waiting for you. There you go. How very awesome. Ryan, thank you so much. Kathy, thank you so much. We wish you the best.
You.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll hear back from you down the road, not because we're admitted to your hospital or anything, just, just want to know that things are progressing as they should. So thank you so much.
Thank you.